Hello everyone, tonight we're going to be doing some Clue, only with a very particular strategy in mind. Is basically, I I have found that you can actually he he not only get your opponents to waste their time, but potentially even eliminate themselves else with one simple trick. Just start the game with a suspect, a room, and a weapon, and your starting cards, and just use those for your first all three of those for your first suggestion. People tend to just assume that if that surely if somebody he didn't have any cards revealed to them when they make a suggestion, that means they found something. I tried this strategy out how the the other day, and in one match not only did I manage to get to convince one opponent that it was Sherlock Holmes with the ski, but both of them, when in fact, I had, as you can see from the clue sheet on the side, I had Sherlock Holmes and the ski. In fact, MikkMakk was actually closer because she at least had the room right, but the immediate response when and somebody he gets eliminated in Clue is, oh, they messed up somewhere in their final accusation. But apparently Scarlett's assumption was that the one thing that Peacock had gotten wrong was the one thing she had gotten right. So I'm gonna get Clue fired up. Basically, he I'm gonna count eliminating at least one opponent as a win, even if I don't actually win the game proper. Let let's just see if we can get a repeat performance. This pretty much only works if you're playing with three players, because you want to have a backup plan in case you're not going first and somebody suggests one of the cards that you have. Because if you end up having to reveal one of your cards early, early, before you even set up the ruse, then I think I'll go Duke Mustard. Usually I've been going with with this version of green from the Hollywood studio, but for this you see kind of looks like very Itagami-esque. Right, so we don't have a backup weapon. However, there's only one person that gets a turn before us. That's the start. So as long as Gray doesn't ask about the pistol, well, we should be good. In fact, we're good because as he's asking about the veranda. So, in fact, he asked about two of our cards. I really need to figure a good spot to put the chatty where it's not going to be in my way. So, the only one of those that Great Cove had was the sword. And unfortunately, I didn't roll high enough to actually get it to either of the rooms I need to be in. Since I'm gonna head to the arcade or the pier. Yeah, well, while I'm around, I'll just try and get some info. Oh, well then. So, so I've basically got the ruse secured to a degree. In fact, I can work this to my advantage. As next on my next turn, I can go to any of the other room. And I can go to the pier or the arcade. And suggest that it was myself with the pistol missile in either of those two rooms, thus hiding the fact that it occurred, thus obfuscating the fact that it occurred in the bedroom. Just have to be careful about not revealing the pistol until I absolutely have to. Okay, so Gray entering the arcade early could be an issue. Or not. As he just suggested Meadowbrook, so I still had the exact great card to show. So now everybody knows it's not Meadowbrook, but she's not going to be part of my ruse anyway. In fact, actually, when you can, it's a good idea to to make yourself look suspicious, because then people will just move you around. Granted, when you already know all the information and then you could ever need in terms of location, and it doesn't really make much of a difference. Basically, the big lie is going to be to just try and hide the, the fact that it's a bedroom, because as you can still get people to eliminate themselves by thinking it's a completely different room. Particularly the peers, and from their perspective, it's plausible all that it all that happened at the pier. Yeah, so now that Scarlet has the ballroom, because as Gray doesn't. Oh, can no longer fool Gray about the pistol, so best bet is to try and fool him about the room. The I'm not really gonna get any useful information in here in the ballroom, unless somebody he slips up. So yeah, I'll just move Gray over here. Yep, just fully confirmed that remember that Scarlet had the ballroom. I just gotta wait while Gray takes notes. Scarlet's heading into the drawing room. Gray has one of the either Scarlet or the drawing room. At the very least, we can keep Gray suspicious of me, but uh, he'll probably figure out how that I didn't do it pretty much immediately, so since I'll be the first one and have to reveal any irrelevant card to him. So, oh, Scarlet has one of those cards. I'll also head into the drawing room since I can't get into to the pier or the arcade. I'll just suggest that I did it with the pistol in here. That's one less card that Scarlet could have. Scarlet's immediately headed back to the ballroom, probably because Scarlet's probably just doing the basic choose two things that you have. Have have to reveal the third strategy. She most likely has either green or the loot. Probably the loot, since that was in a pair of cards that she's confirmed to have at least one of. Okay, so it's not the loot. Here the Scarlet has, so now she must have plum. I could get the feeling that Gray has the loot instead. And since he went into the gallery, he most likely had either either is the loot or to or perhaps it's Gray. Yeah, the loot's definitely something of interest. So I'm gonna suggest that real quick. Well, then that makes Gray of interest. Since apparently Gray had the loot card. Scarlet got to the banquet hall, just in plum with poison. Since she has plum, that means that she's probably looking for either the banquet hall or the poison. Which since she's not confirmed to have either of those, Alright, so Gray has once again returned to the drawing room. Scarlet sword. Scarlet must have one of those two. Nope, I've no way to really tell which one. None as of yet. Now I have an opportunity to head back to the pier. I think I'll suggest myself with the sword. Right, so it's not the sword, so that at least three. Got three. Half the weapons and half the suspects down, so it's just a matter of eliminating 2 out of each of those categories. Gray with the candelabra. But since it's in the gallery, Gray might have just shown that. So if we can get one more category, or the Gray one more check or category, or Gray, then we might be able to crack this case wide open. Gray with the candelabra in the drawing room this time. Right, it's not the candelabra. Also means that's not Gray. We gotta go over here. It's just that I did it with the poison. Alright, so since Gray has the poison, that means that's a parasol. And so now, if we can just make it through this next turn without how to anyone making a successful accusation, we should be golden. Oh, Scarlet just figured out that it did occur in the bedroom. So it comes down to whether or not she's figured out the... Huh. Guess I was off base. Alright, so that's it's one failure for the night. Right. Let's go for the classic mansion. See if our particular strategy will work out a little bit better over here. Just as soon as it finds me a couple of opponents. There we go. Now, hopefully this will maybe we'll get a better set started cards. About the same. Just a shame that it keeps being rooms since that's the only category where they're getting 4 cards isn't super useful. Fortunately, starting during the match, so just gonna head to the billiard room and immediately suggest that Green did it with the candlestick. And let's see what our opponents do. Since they're most likely going to assume that one of those 3 is a correct answer. Since why would anybody go and just suggest 3 things that they already know are wrong? Yep, Green with the candlestick in the billiard room. Now I'm going to I'm gonna reveal the billiard room. For a while I was thinking that maybe the best thing to lie about would be location, since you have an alibi as to why you're not just constantly suggesting that, and so it allows you to suggest other things. And because we had to accuse Green, he's already going to be in the room. So of course he also goes in to ask about the billiard room and how he might have done it with the candlestick. Let's head over to the library, since that's the one room that we don't have out of the options. And for this turn, it's just as Green with the candlestick in here instead. So now we know that it's not the libraries. That narrows the possible rooms down to 4. Oh, and now Rose is going into the conservatory, which means that if she asks about green in the candlestick again, we can just reveal the conservatory. In fact, she's not asking about either. Very interesting. It's probably for the best since that gets us some information. Since Green decided to ask that question in the ballroom, we can just show that instead of having to reveal either remaining part of her ruse. And then we can just continue walking through the rooms. In fact, I might just continue in my current rotation. Just pretend I'm just looking for the right room and have already figured out everything else. Right, so it's not the study, so that which I mean, only part of that's a lie. Just the part about already knowing everything else. Almost because they're genuinely looking for the correct room. And Rose is heading into the ballroom, so just like with Green before, or we can just show the ballroom if needed. Yep, able to maintain the rooms because this is the particular room that she chose to enter. Now, this could be risky. Yeah, we're gonna have to reveal part of her ruse to Green. And on this one. And since we don't have the dining room, which naturally, with this strategy, you should prioritize whoever goes immediately before you, or you in keeping people in the dark. Dark since since you have to immediately reveal a card or to that player if you have one for their accusation. It's not the kitchen. It's looking like it probably happened in the lounge. Now, green. All that remains the names are used for green is the belief that he of his own guilt. So Rose suggesting herself with the candlestick. That could work in her favor for as long as she doesn't figure out how to, that Green isn't guilty. If we can just convince her that Green's guilt is a thing that we found in our initial suggestion, then and she's likely to eliminate herself. Actually, was it Green that I showed to? I think Green's figured it all out. Because he wouldn't have. Because if I had already had shown him the candlestick, he wouldn't have asked about it. Unless he's trying to get me to flip up and have him show another card that I don't even have. Might as well just continue our rotation and then head to the dining room. It's green. Since we've shown both of them the candlestick, we might as well. I better go for the candlestick because that way we can get confirmation in on room. Well then, it apparently happened in the dining room. Means that one of them has a lounge. Lounge, but I'm not sure which one, but as long as we don't go in the lounge, it doesn't really matter all that much. It's taking a little bit of time to figure out where she wants to go. Heading into the dining room. Likely because she knows that I've found something in here. White candlestick. She made the vital mistake of asking about the candlestick when I've already shown her the candlestick. Which means that she gets no confirmation that it's not it's a dining room. Rose with dagger in the dining room. Well, Rose has either her own card or the dagger or both. Now we can make our way over to the lounge is literally our only option, so I'll go for green with the dagger in the lounge. And just see what we can get. Alright, so Rose has the lounge. But that gets us nowhere closer to figuring out the actual culprit and weapon. Rose is immediately following us into the lounge. And she figured out it's not green. Yet, I guess our ruse has collapsed entirely. Depending on how much information either of these two have, they might be about to win. Green is heading back into the dining room, which is not a great sign. Alright, mustard with the wrench. Well, it must have either not been mustard or must not have been the wrench. So either I'm innocent or that's just not the way I did it. Or it could be both. Oh, this is a perfectly fine place to roll Snake Eyes. I'll suggest myself with the candlestick. And I'm innocent. Fortunately, that means I can't roll out the wrench. But at least I got one suspect down. I at least know it wasn't me. Rose is heading into the dining room once again. That's suggesting. Wait. The dagger. Well, either she's about to figure out. Yeah, I think she's got it. It's probably White with the dagger in the dining room. Yeah. Shame we haven't been able to find anyone as gullible as the two people from that match I was talking about not earlier. Let's head to the Snowy Peaks. You can see what we can find there. you know, maybe just exceptionally gullible players. Here's go here. Here, since this was also where I managed to fool two different people into thinking that Sherlock Holmes killed somebody with a ski. He and maintained that lie well enough for them to both eliminate themselves. Well, I've at least got backup options for 2 out of the 3. Could have done with another suspect, but you know, oh, can't always have the perfect starting hand, and otherwise there'd be no point in shuffling the deck. Green's taking his sweet time. Right, boot room. White with the ski pole. None of those are cards I have, which is great because that means that I can select whatever lie I want, basically. Let's go hot tub room with the ski. It's a peach with the ski in the hot tub room. And because as I have all those cards, so white, ski pole. Interesting. So white's just ignoring my ruse entirely for right now in favor of trying to figure out which, presumably 2 cards Nerds Green has. They both asked about all 3 of those, and both have at least one of those. Green in the bedroom with the poker. One of those is a second card from white. Interesting that none of them have asked about any of the things I suggested. So I'm just gonna go to the sauna and suggest that it was Peach with the ski. And so let's see if anybody has. Oh, interesting. Just immediately. Just immediately find out that it happened in the sauna. Peach with the ski pole in the bedroom. I don't think it's a ski pole since we've got an overlap between categories. He's there. Not to mention, there's reason to believe that either none of our opponents could have the ski pole card. Green, it's gone to the lounge, so my ruse is secure, regardless of what he asks. Plum. The feeling that neither of those, so it might be. So that would mean that would be the poker. If it's not the ski pole or the icicle. Of course, I don't have any real, confirmation. Now let's head over to the lounge. Let's just reinforce it with our ruse. After all, Green knows that it's not the lounge. So surely that makes them wonder, which of these, again, the logical assumption. Okay, so Green has either the poker or the lift station. Maybe it is the icicle. Since nobody is confirmed to likely have it. Green is heading into the sauna, which we know is the actual location. Ice Axe wasn't even part of a ruse, so unless he's down to Ice Axe and something else, it doesn't matter all that much. Now let's head over to the hot tub room and reinforce our lie about Peach with the ski. While just trying to collect information by observing that people are actively trying to solve the mystery. Boot room. Alright, so it's not white. In fact, it's not the bedroom either. More accurately, we know who has the bedroom since we already knew that's not the bedroom. plumb the rope. Oh yeah, it was. Dang it, it revealed the wrong card. It didn't have to reveal new information. Green, Green still potentially thinks that's Peach with the ski, and White still thinks it might be the ski, and White still has reason to believe it might be the ski. So we'll just keep at it with Peach with the ski. I'm just being called back into the lounge. Green has either my card or the icicle. White has either my card, the icicle, or the bar. And I'm just gonna stay in here and suggest that Peach did it with the ski. Because, clearly, clearly she did it somewhere. So it might have been the bar that was revealed. But we can't rule out the possibility that White has either the icicle or my card yet. Peacock, ski pole, on the sauna. And it was White, and it was Peacock with the ski pole and the sauna. Seems like everybody's a little wise to my tricks. I haven't seen anybody that seems familiar, so I don't think it's like stream sniping or anything, so but it could just be the and this time I can't even do it. So I guess we'll just play normally on this one. And since we don't have a weapon to even lie about. plum, suggesting it was white. The oxygen tank in the dining room. One of the, at least one of those three is, he is in white, its hand. I'll prioritize, just do like I normally try to do and prioritize revealing locations, since those tend to be the lowest priority. That means that white, he wasn't using the two knowns to find an known technique. Take on that one. I think I'll just head to the lounge. It's just that I did it with spyglass. So it's not the spyglass. Taking a sweet time. Helicopter pad. Bringing to the helicopter pad with the diving knife. So that means that white has either the diving knife or the helicopter pad. And since I have green. White has followed me to the lounge. I'm just going to reveal that it's not the lounge, because that way I can keep the juicier secrets to myself. Just head to bar. And suggest that was, I did it with the flare gun. Alright, so it's not the flare gun. And a couple categories, or these are uncategorized checks from white, and we'll have basically her entire hand revealed. So, or at the very least, we'll have confirmation on a fair bit. There are no records that she's confirmed to not have. Plum is suggesting the same thing. So he just gets to see the flare gun just like I did. Wait, saying back to the bridge. I've already shown White the bridge. She's asking about me with the oxygen tank. But she's just gonna see the bridge edge again. Because that's what I've already shown her. So basically, she just set my turn up for me. Since I can just stay right here on the bridge and ask if I did it with harpoon. Not with the harpoon. Which also not me and not the bridge, but I already knew that. So next I'll probably ask about the ore. Despite not actively trying to lie, I have managed to maintain some level of suspicion and of myself. Since everybody who's asked about me has just gotten a location or a weapon. Which, hey, if they want to keep just moving me to the lounge, the bar, and the bridge, then I'm pretty well set. And at least until well, it's time to start looking at locations. Me with the oxygen tank. Well, White has figured out I didn't do it. If I can just keep Plum suspicious of me, then I might be able to fool someone into eliminating themselves off anyway. I'm gonna head to the hot tub. I feel like White might have the bedroom, and that's why I actually went there. Just that I did it with the ore. Please reveal the ore and not the hot tub. It's probably gonna be the hot tub. Yep. I have no idea whether it was the ore or not. So I'm saying bar, which is just another location that I have. If he's willing to take me over there, then I can just have my turn set up for me. And he's the only one left that's going to suspect me, so he's of course he's not going to do it. It's not the bar. So white does not have the oxygen tank or scarlet. Wait, over to the hot tub. Means I do have to reveal, and you have to reveal green. That's the one thing that I have that did actually suggested. Fortunately, nobody moved me any closer to any of the the locations I have, so I'm gonna have to make my way over to the bar myself. I'm gonna change things up and suggest that it was Plum that did it at the helicopter pad. Hey, that got me the confirmation that's not the orb. So now I think it's probably the oxygen tank, since we got one person that's confirmed to not have the oxygen tank, and we're down to only 2 possible weapons. So it may very well be Scarlet with the oxygen tank in who knows what room. Plum is looking in the dining room. Orchid, the oxygen tank. White has either Orchid or the dining room. It's heading over to the bars. Maybe since she doesn't suspect me anymore, or she's not going to move me over there. Now she knows all of the locations I have, but only one of the suspects I have. Finally, I can make my way over there. And I'll suggest that it was Plum with the diving knife. And it is, in fact, the oxygen tank. Thanks, so now I can move on to looking to see who killed Mr. Body by a blunt force trauma via oxygen tank, and where. So I'm saying back to the helicopter pad. She could have that card. Scarlet, the ore. He does not have the helicopter pad. And since that's the only card that seems Plum has figured out something that I haven't, or he's about to. Yeah, yeah, he got it. Oh well. Now we can get back to doing our strategy properly, which I didn't even have it set on 3 players. It just set me up with one, and completely by chance. And apparently I've had the game muted this entire time. I just wanted to check, make sure that I'm not being like drowned out by the game, and apparently it's been muted this entire time. And so that's fun. Let's set up our ruse at Western set. Just that was Orchid with the award. Naturally, nobody can and say, hey, that's not what happened other than me. And Green has he immediately he been the hook, at least to a degree. She's a bit of a wily one. It actually suggested two cards that he has, rather than just suggesting exactly what I just suggested. If nothing else, it should waste some of his turns. Speaking of people suggesting exactly what I did, and Scarlet just did exactly that. I'm gonna actually complicate things a little bit by maintaining the rules that by trying to convince Green that it was Orchid with the award, and Scarlet that somebody did it with the award at the Western set. Neither of them can refute this suggestion either, because I have the sci-fi set. Basically, if nothing else, one of them ought to end up one of them might end up suggesting the award, or in their final accusation, and that would be wrong. So Green is heading into the hall. And suggesting that I did it with the award. Yeah, I think he's got mustard. But now he has seen through 2/3 of the ruse, which means that he might just start suspecting Orchid. Meanwhile, Scarlet is just going to continue suggesting, or actually no. Yeah, because remember, we showed her Orchid. So I'm just gonna maintain. I'm just gonna continue trying to convince Green that was the award, and Scarlet that it was not the award, that it was Orchid, and Scarlet that's the award, and or the Western set. So yeah, I'm gonna just head over to the cinema. I suggest that was Orchid with the award over here. And Scarlet has the cinema, so that's one of Scarlet's cards down. poor Green can't even get to a room. Sucks to be you. Alright, Scarlet is back to the western set. Maintain the rules of it being the award. So now both of them have seen 2/3 of the ruse. Different 2/3 of the ruse for each of them, but 2/3 all the same. So both of them have one item that I have to potentially assume is part of the solution. And so now it's just a matter of maintaining the ruse as one of those. Is it? It was that one of those for both of them. Which if one of them falls for it, then that should give both me and the remaining opponent a good chuckle. Since you know, we'll both know that they fell for it. We'll both know that they were wrong. I just gotta wait for Green to... Green has gone into the editing room. So he could have the editing room. I think it's to his advantage if he does. He suggested that it was me enough times that I think it's safe to say that he doesn't have my card. Well, that he does have my card. Which means that I'm innocent. And Scarlet rolled low, so she doesn't even get to make a suggestion. This game is frozen a little bit. I've seen this happen a couple times before. I was hoping I don't have to close out the game and restart it. Okay, it was just taking a little while. Figure I'd give it up to 5 minutes, I would say. Right, well, while I'm here, I might as well suggest that Orchid did it with the award in the editing room. That means that's not the lead pipe. So we already know that Scarlet has a cinema. Peach with the pistol. Probably just reveal the cinema. But I'll note the possibility for having Peach with a pistol. Well, just in case. She's also heading to the cinema. It's just in MikkMakk with the award. Oh, she's seen fully through my ruse. So I don't think it's MikkMakk. Just gonna head out to the director's office. Hey, now that I'm not lying about the weapon anymore, I can start looking into that. It's not the velvet rope. It's not the velvet rope, so you know, theoretically she could have also shown it on her own card or the dressing room. You know, if she has either of those. She's Scarlet's heading into the prop room. Suggesting that I did with the dagger in there. Green has at least one of those cards. Now I'll head back to the western set and I'm pretty much down to two new suspects, so I'll just have Scarlet with pistol. It's not the pistol. The feeling that it was a dagger. My current guess is probably dagger in Hector's office and Peach. Scarlet probably just showed the lead pipe. But, you know, there's also still the big possibility that she could have shown. But yeah, well, she almost certainly showed the lead pipe. Since I'm pretty sure she's shown the lead pipe before. I'll reveal that no, it didn't happen in none of the sci-fi set. Guess I'll head over to the prop room. I think I had the opportunity to go to the sci-fi set, but oh well. Just noticed that it was Orchid head with the wrench. Right, it's not the wrench, which means that it was the dagger. I was about seeing all that green has. Oh, you're really gonna turn around and suggest the same thing I suggested at the very beginning? Well, then you can see the very same thing that I revealed to you the first time you went in that room. Scarlet with the dagger, the director's office. Yeah, I think she's got it. She's about to reveal her own guilt. Yep. We got time for about 2 more rounds. Let's go to Egypt. Switch over to green, and since we've already got mustard in here. I've just gotta wait for Boing Mango to get ready. Alright, can't set up a ruse here, so guess I'll just play normally. Just head over to the tomb. Just said Mustard did it with pickaxe. But Mustard knows for sure that he didn't do it with the pickaxe. And now, as long as nobody suggests that I did it anywhere else, I can just bounce between the tomb and the waterfall. And steadily eliminate suspects and weapons with each one. Rose at the temple with the pistol. Interesting. Guess I might be in the protagonist seat this time. Since either Mustard found something or he's trying to pull a trick. Well, if he is trying to uphold a ruse, then either he has the Oasis or part of his ruse just fell through. I'm just gonna head over to the waterfall and just Scarlet with the pistol. Right, one part of the potential ruse has been dismantled. Yeah, I'm gonna switch those over to exclamation points based on this possibility. Since, you know, either one of those is part of the solution or none of them are. And Mustard is just trying to lead both of us on a wild goose chase. Is gone to the Sphinx. It's just a matter of when he decides to actually make a suggestion. Peacock with the Ankh. So Scarlet has one of those. It's gonna stay at the waterfall, so nothing super significant is gonna come with it. This suggestion, and for me. Yeah, because she just suggested two things she doesn't have. Well, at a location that she doesn't have, so just gonna head down, head back down to the tomb, and suggest that it was Mustard. No, suggest that it was Rose with the scepter, because unfortunately I don't have a weapon. And so it's gonna be hard to confirm whether Rose did it or not. First, you know, it could just be that Mustard got lucky on the location. Or again, you know, he could be He could be trying to pull a trick. Scarlet at the boat with the pistol. Just show him the boat.